Hey man, so what do you want to sell your property for? I don't know what I want. Just make me an offer. Okay. How about. Wait. Before you make an offer, make sure you don't give me some skimpy lowball offer that everybody else is giving me. I don't really feel like being offended right now by your offer. Well, I can't know what would offend you if you don't tell me what you want. Okay, fine. Just make an offer and we'll see if we can make something work. Okay, so I guess if we were to pay all cash and we were gonna close on your terms and we can close in 7 days if you want. What if we did $10,000? Get the out of my house. Hey, what is going on, guys? Ken up here. And let me know what you thought about the intro. I was trying to be a little bit funny, you see? Ha, because we don't really do enough jokes around here. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking with you guys about how to not offend a seller with an offer. Because they always tell you, hey, I hate getting lowball offers, so don't make me a lowball offer. And then you ask them, well, how much do you want for the property? And then they're always just like, I don't know, just make me an offer. And this is probably the most annoying part of the business when it comes to this whole real estate wholesaling thing, is essentially, or just real estate investing in general. You ask them how much they want and they're just like, oh, I don't know what I want, just don't give me a lowball offer. And you have no idea what the hell a lowball offer is if you don't know what they want out of the property. Now, obviously, there are telltale signs essentially saying hey, this person wants the most for their property, or then there's other signs where it's just yeah, we could sell it for pretty low. And so essentially, you just gotta get good at as much as you can with feeling out where their situation is. And the only way to do that is essentially by talking to a lot of sellers. This is one thing that only comes with experience, and essentially what you got to do in order to have the ability to really figure out what the seller wants is essentially just talking to a lot of sellers and understanding what your normal seller is like and what a normal motivated seller is like. There's a lot of different ways within kind of what their story is and everything to really figure out what they want. And as soon as I find out that they're really not motivated, they want to sell their property for maximum value, I just put them up on a follow-up list and just call them maybe once every few months and essentially see if they're still willing to sell their property or how it's going, if they ended up selling with the realtor, and then just keep following up. And then maybe, just maybe, they want to sell their house at a discount because they get a little antsy and anxious and just not selling as fast as they want, or whatever the scenario may be. And so now, obviously, there's the telltale signs that they are a motivated seller, and those ones are pretty clear, and it's pretty hard to mess up a motivated seller lead. And so essentially, they're just take this property from me. I will take anything, or we need to move, or else something's going to happen. And then there's some that are pretty arrogant, even though they are motivated, but they just don't understand that they're motivated just yet. And these are the types of people that you really want to follow up with, maybe in a few days, maybe even a week, and then you want to leave them an offer. But now the question is, how do you leave someone an offer and not piss them off? And so it really just... like I said, it comes with experience. So now there are a few cases where I just keep asking them, what do you want out of the property? And they just won't give me the damn answer. And so what I recommend, first of all, is ask the seller between 5 and 7 times what they want to get out of the property. What do they want to sell it for? Maybe even one time you're I got a drink, and you're just well, what do you want to sell it for? I don't know. Oh, shit. I just got water all over my desk. Anyways, just ask them all these different ways. Just keep trying, experimenting different ways, and just keep asking them. And what you really want to make clear is that you want to help them out. You want to figure out what they want to get out of the property. And so they're going to be holding their cards they're at the poker table, they got some good shit, and what they really it really doesn't even matter what they're looking to get out of it. What really matters is that they tell you, so that way we can see if we can work with them or not. If not, then it's just going to waste everybody's time, because then everybody's oh, if I tell him then what I'm really willing to go down to, then he won't be willing to, I'm going to lose money because he could offer me more, and everybody's so skeptical about that. And so I would rather them give me a high number than what they're actually looking to get out of the property, because then you can always work them down. But then there's those people that won't even give you a number whatsoever. And so there is a rare occasion where they just straight up don't know what the property's worth, and so they just want you to make an offer. And so what I usually like to do, if they just, every time they're just like, no, just make me an offer. And then I keep asking what they want, and they're just like, no, make me an offer. So let's say a property is worth like $200,000, and I need to get it to about like 140 in order for it to do a deal, to be a deal. And they will not tell me. So what I do to not offend them, and this is also called a soft pass. And this is essentially what a soft pass is you don't know if they're motivated or not. So you make them an offer just to see if they're motivated or not. So what I like to do is I usually like to go like this. Okay, so we pay all cash and we close whatever timeline you want to close on. We can close quickly. We can close next week if you want. And so I'm not saying we could do this, but what if we did like 50,000, 60, 70,000? Would that be able to work for you? And what I usually like to say is just essentially, I'm not saying we could do this, but what if we did like 50,000, 60, 70,000? And then I pause for a second, see what their response is, and if it's definitely super negative, then I keep going. And I'll get to a sound point. So then I go like, okay, it's like what if we did like 80, 90, 100,000? And as soon as I start to see their body language change ever so slightly, and they're starting to like maybe nod their head or something like that, and maybe I'd keep going up and just try to figure, like, really fill out what they're willing to get out of the property. And essentially, if I just keep asking, I'm just like, oh, okay, like 110, 120, 130. And then the more that they really start to think about it, and they're just like, okay, yeah, actually, we may be able to do that. Then there you go. You just kind of figured out what they're willing to go down to. And so you just gotta like kind of slowly increment it up until you get to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, that's something I'd be willing to do. And so, and you're saying, I'm not saying I could do this, but what if? And then you just keep going your way up. Even if you get to a point where it's way above your maximum allowable offer, you still want to just keep going up on this scale until you get to the point where they're just like, yeah, that works. And then if you're too high, then just be like, okay, well, I can't go that high, honestly. So I don't think we're a good fit for each other. Thank you for your time, and just leave. And so you really want to keep things short. You want to act like, hey, I got the cash in my pocket. I'm ready to do the deal. And then as soon as they're just like, no, just walk away. You don't need to keep pushing anything. You don't need to just keep being like, oh, well, what if we did this or whatever. Just as soon as you get a no, just walk away. And then there are chances where they will actually chase you if you've built up enough rapport, trust, and respect, essentially. And so really, like, I make sure as much as possible that I make it very clear that I'm throwing out numbers just to make sure that that I'm not missing out in case they are willing to sell their property at a super discount. Because there are cases where they're willing to sell their property at a discount, and you maybe made an offer and then the offer is way too high. I'd rather be too low than too high. So then what I do is I just work my way up after asking them like a million times what they're willing to get out of the property. Another good way to ask them what they're willing to get out of the property, what they're willing to sell it for, is, hey, Mr. Seller, most of the sellers that I work with know what their rock bottom price is, and that's really all that I'm looking for. Another good way, this one I've said like a million times on this channel, is if I could pay all cash and close quickly, what would be the best price you would consider if I paid for all the closing costs and there'd be no realtor's commission to pay? And so also I have pulled this one out of my back pocket a few times where I just go like, okay, well, I really, let's cut the crap. I really don't want to play this game. And we both know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm gonna make an offer. It's gonna be way low. You're gonna come back and say, hey, that's way too low, and then you're gonna make an offer. It's gonna be higher than what you're willing to get out of the property, and then we're gonna meet in the middle somewhere if we decide to agree on a price. And I really don't feel like playing games right now, Mr. Seller. So how about this? Let's skip the game and just tell me what you're willing to sell a property for, and I'll let you know whether or not we're good enough to do business with each other. Because I don't want to be wasting each of our time, and I just want to make sure to see if we should keep trying to build this relationship and try to move forward with this deal. And so that one's a little bit more of an advanced tactic. I've used that a few times. It's when they're just like I can tell they really don't want me to make a lowball offer, but they want me to make an offer for some stupid reason. And so I kind of do that, and then I try to make it as polite as possible, and just know that like everybody knows there's a stupid game whenever it comes to negotiation, and I just don't like playing it sometimes. So then I'm pretty clear, and I just make them understand that point, and then a lot of times they're just like, oh, okay, and then they give me a little bit higher number than what they're really willing to go down to, and then I'm able to get a number that way. But like I said, if you can't get a number, just go back to what I was saying before, and essentially just kind of raising the elevator, raising the roof until you finally come to the price that they're willing to go for, and then from there you can decide whether or not that is a good enough number. Because I really hate making offers, to be honest. I hate just being like, they'd be like, oh, just send me an offer, and I'm just like, there you go, 110,000. What do you think? I hate doing that. I want it to be a game. I want it to be going back and forth, and I want to figure out what the hell they want, so that way I'm getting it as low as possible, so that way I'm not leaving any money on the table. Now, there's always a way to get it even lower after you get it on a contract, but how I usually do it is I get them down to like really as low as they're allowing to, like they're willing to go, and then if it's still not low enough, then there's really nothing I can do on my side, and I would lose the deal at that point essentially. So I just had to get better at running the numbers and everything, figuring out what the ARV is and the MMAO and all that type of stuff. But anyways, yeah, don't really stress it that much though. Don't try not to make offers, but just keep asking. But if you have to, just do it the way that I show inside this video. And if you implement what's going on inside this video, you're gonna be able to really tell if someone's a motivated seller and really willing to work with you or not. And so just get good at this one part, and you will be pretty good at negotiating your wholesale deals and everything. So anyways, hope you guys all enjoyed today's video, and we're getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, and I imagine like in 2 days, so what is today, Thursday, so I imagine Saturday or Sunday we're gonna hit 1,000 subscribers. It's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be badass, it's gonna be cool, long time coming, and so I will let you guys know as soon as it happens. But anyways, if you guys want to see more videos like this, join the fam, join the gang by hitting the nice looking subscribe button down below. Also, drop a like if you guys liked today's video. Highly appreciate it. And like always, I'm uploading to YouTube every day. So I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.